Hello class 10th. I would like to congratulate first you all on being promoted to class 10th. Now, class 10th is not a very easy task. So, I need three things from you all. I want dedication, I want hard work, and I want honesty from all of you. So, with these three powerful words, let's start our class 10th economics. The first chapter you have to deal with is chapter 1, development. Before this chapter, I would like to clear a few things like the difference between growth and development. Both the terms sound very familiar. Both are like brother and sister, but there is some differences. I would like to clear that first. So, what is growth? Growth is a quantitative thing. It's a quantitative thing. Quantitative thing means something related to numbers, something which you can count, which you can measure. Fine. Growth is when there is improvement in numbers. Growth is when there is improvement in numbers. Suppose if you are having 90% marks in your 9th and you get 95 to 98% marks in class 10th, then we can say that you have a growth in your academic year. Fine. For example, let's take some other example. Increase in income. If your father or mother is having an increment in his salary, then we can say that your father is having a growth in his salary or increment in his salary. Likewise, if we take an example of a child, then the increase in height and weight of a child will be called as growth. So these examples comes under the growth. Understood? Now let's come to the second thing, which is development. What is development? Development is a keyword combination of what? Of qualitative and quantitative things. Here you just had quantitative things, but when it comes to development, there is qualitative and quantitative, both the things in a combination. We can say that improvement in quality. Improvement in quality. If we are improving, then we can say we are developing. Let's make it easier with some example, like increase in quality of life. Suppose I am riding on a cycle and after a few years I just buy a bike. Then I get improved in my quality of life. Then I can say that I am having a development. And likewise, in further years, from bike I come to cars. I buy a car. Then I can say that I am being developed. There is some development going on in my life. Likewise, some other example. Let's take this example of a child. Increase in child's skills and knowledge. Suppose the child which was having some increase in the height and weight, the same child is having some skills of playing cricket, of studying books. He is getting knowledge of further studies, of further subjects. Then we can say that the child is having increase in the quality of life. He is having skills, he is having knowledge. For development, we use a word progress. Is that clear? Okay, let's come to the next topic. Next topic is development. What is development? It is an idea. Keyword here is idea. It is an idea which can be different for individuals. Which can be different for individual. For individual means for one person. If you are talking about one person, then it can be different from, if we talk about a whole country, then the idea of development can be different. So it is an idea which can be different for individuals and different for a country. If we talk about only one citizen of a country, then the development can be different from the idea of development of a country. Now let's compare it. If we talk about a country, if we talk about my country, India, then what will be the idea of development? I would like to say that if we can remove the poverty, then my country can develop, isn't it? if poverty can be removed, our country can develop. Now, if the employment opportunities can be increased, then I can say that that our country can develop. Likewise, if we can improve our army or their weapons, then also we can say that our country is developing or our country can develop. So these are the ideas for a development of a country. But what if I talk about one individual? Suppose for me, if I am having educational qualifications, then I can say that I am developing. If I am getting better medical facilities, then I can say that I am developing. If I get money, if I get my business right, if I earn more money with my business, then I can say that I am developing. So both these things are different from each other. But for a country, these things are the idea for development. But for an individual, these are the things for the idea of an development of an individual. Fine. Now, there is one thing they usually ask in 1 marks. They can ask you in any other way. In 1 marks, what is human development? So it's a very simple thing. It's a very simple concept. The development of an individual in such a way that he could live a happy life. And how he can live a happy life? By fulfilling all the materialistic desires. Now, what are materialistic desires? Suppose I want a car, then it's a materialistic desire. I want a bungalow, it's a materialistic desire. I want some land, it's a materialistic desire. Anything which you can touch, which is tangible, is a materialistic desire, a qualitative life. If an individual lives his life happily so that he can fulfill all his desires of all the materialistic things, then we can say the human development. Basically, human development is improvement in the qualitative life. Is that clear? Let's come to the next topic. The next topic is, actually it's a quotation, that notion for development is different for different people. If we talk about the idea of development, then for one type of people, for one person it's different, and for other person the idea of development is different. What may be development for one may not be development for other. If someone is saying that building of roads is good for us, it's development for us, then there will be some other persons also who will be saying that no, it's not development for us, it's destruction for us. Or construction of dams, or flyovers, or railways. If someone is having a development from these constructions, but there will be some people who will be facing some destruction for their lives. So what may be development for one may not be development for other. It can be destructive for others also. Fine. Let's take a classical example of construction of dams. If the government, the state government orders to build a dam, suppose our state government is building a dam on some river, then there will be two people affected, the urban peoples and the Adivasi people. Now, what urban people will face? They will face the problem of no more floods now. If they were having floods, after the construction of dams, they won't be facing any kinds of floods. So it's a development for the urban people. They will be having electricity generation. How? They will construct the dam. With the help of the dam, they can build hydroelectricity power generation plants, so that they won't be facing any problem of electricity. They will be having lots of electricity generation. So basically it's a development for urban people. But when it comes to the Adivasis people, they are the most disheartening people. What will happen to the Adivasis people if the government orders to construct a dam on the bank of the river where the Adivasi people lives? They will have to leave their lands. On the land which is on the land where they grow crops, their agriculture, their income sources, they will have to leave, they have to abandon those places and have to migrate to some other areas like urban areas or rural areas. They have to migrate. They don't have any other option. So migration will take place. And due to that migration, they will face the problem of food. They will face the problem of earning. They won't be having any earning. They won't be having any food. So basically the construction of dam will provide the destruction for the Adivasis people. I hope this is clear. The last topic for this video is that different developmental goals for different people. You know already what is development, and you already know that the development, the notion of development is different for different people. So everybody is having different developmental goals. Like, let's take example for these 5 people. These 5 people have different developmental ideas. For there, the idea of development is totally different from each other. Okay, let's start with the landless rural laborers. Those people who lives in the rural areas and are landless. They don't have any land or property and they work for their living as a laborer. So, what is the developmental goal of landless rural labor? What they are seeking for? They are seeking for more days of work. If they are getting more days of work, then they are the developed ones. And if they get better wages, then it's their developmental goal. If their children are getting schooling facilities, then it's also a developmental goal for landless rural laborer. Understood? Now let's come to the second category of people. The prosperous farmer of Punjab. Those farmers which have very high income because they are having lots of land, lots of tractors, and they are rich, so that they can buy all the insecticides, pesticides, and HYV seeds and better quality of seeds. So that's why they are the prosperous farmers. For what then? What prosperous farmers seek for? Those rich farmers, what they seek for? They seek for high income. If they are earning high income, then their aim will be to earn more high income. Therefore, their developmental goal will be high income from higher support price for their crops. Now, you already learned about the support price system in the class 9. Support price system is the system in which the government provide the prices for the crops so that the farmers can sell their food crops to the government directly before bearing some losses in the market in their own. So the prosperous farmer of Punjab, he seeks higher income from higher support prices for their crops. And also they want some cheap laborers. If they are getting cheap laborers, then it's also a developmental goal for that prosperous farmer. The prosperous farmers, they appoint some of the laborers. If they get cheaper labor, then it's a profit for them. So it's a developmental goal. And also to send their children abroad. They also wanted their children go to abroad and they study and they work there, they settle there. So the prosperous farmers of Punjab, they seek for higher income from higher support price for their crops, cheaper labor, and to send their children to abroad. Is that clear? Now let's come to the third category, which is businessman. So what does a businessman seek for? He seeks for tax benefits. If the tax is deducted by the government, then he is in profit. Then it will be a developmental goal for the businessman. If he gets less electricity, if the government is able to produce more and more electricity, then it's a benefit for the businessman. If he gets good roads, if he is getting good roads, then it will be very easy for that businessman to send his goods, to transport his good from one place to another. Now let's come to the fourth category, which is a girl from an urban family. A girl from an urban family. What will be the developmental goal for her? If she gets equal freedom, equal respect as her brother, then it will be the developmental goal for her. If she is able to study abroad, if she is getting equal freedom like his brother, then it will be a developmental goal for that girl from an urban family. Now, let's come to the last category, that is urban unemployed youth. A young person who is unemployed. What will be the developmental goal for him? The simplest is to get employed. If that unemployed person is living, then the first aim of that person will be to get some employment. He gets employed so that he can earn some income. So these are some of the different developmental goals of different people. So we have covered 3 topics for today. Now let's finish this.